And welcome one, welcome all. It's the pregame show on the CCIW network. The Firebirds of Carthage College are welcoming the Thunder from Wheaton. It is a chilly Saturday afternoon from Tarble Arena in Kenosha, Wisconsin, as one of these teams is going to come away with their first conference victory of the year. Hello, everybody. Joining me this afternoon, as he will all season, Eric Elger. I'm Peter Ferreri, joined for both games today of the doubleheader by sideline reporter Kalia Butler. Eric, let's set the stage. As mentioned, both teams still looking for their first conference win, but for all intents and purposes, their losses haven't been these big blowouts. They've been close in all their contests, and both teams notorious so far in those two conference losses, starting a bit slow, so I'm sure they'd love nothing more to say, okay, let's be the different team. Let's be the team that gets that hot start today and really force the hand of our opponent.
Absolutely, and taking a look at Wheaton, something that they've been going through all season is really trying to mix and match the starting lineup. And you take a look at some of their CCIW stats up here, and Coach Kent Madsen really is they've gone through 10 different starters so far this season. So trying to find that team that really gels and fits and works together. But you know, they've been struggling to shoot as of late, going against their last time out against Elmhurst. It was close at halftime. They're only losing by 4, but then the floodgates kind of opened up and Elmhurst really pulled away in the 80-53 win. In that game, something that has plagued the Thunder all season is just the field goal percentage. And Kate Oliver led the way with 21 points. The rest of her team didn't score more than 6 points individually, anyone else on the team. So they're still looking to find that offensive rhythm as they kind of get further into the CCIW season here.
Yeah, and as we look at where these teams are and especially where they've come into the contest, you mentioned for Carthage, you know, they had 2 non-conference victories against Cohen Franciscan, then a UW River Falls loss, fairly close in that contest. It was a home matchup, and UW River Falls, a very good team, but then a loss on the road by 4 to North Central, and a loss at home to by 12, 72-60 against Carroll, and that was just a few days ago. And why does that bear mentioning? Because, again, that score doesn't necessarily reflect where the outcome was. They were very close at the end, and things just kind of got away, and the shots that Carthage needed Carroll to miss, they didn't, and, you know, that, of course, was the outcome.
Yeah, and we've mentioned that last game. I mean, they got down 22-13 after the first quarter. Really, the rest of the way, it was back and forth, and it just didn't Carthage just couldn't find enough firepower to make up that gap when they fell behind in the first quarter. They had players like Malia Green still chipping in with 13 points, Orozco 13 points as well, but it was not the type of efficient shooting night for either of them. Malia Green 4 of 18 from the floor, and Alyssa Orozco 5 of 19. So you would like to see some of the other offensive players on Carthage really try to take some of that burden off of them so they don't have to make so many tough shots. And someone who is starting to do that a little bit more is number 14, Delaney Elsmore, who got in 10 points last game. And we've really talked to Coach Jones about how that role of Elsmore is really starting to grow. She's been more of a ball handler previously, but now really trying to look to get her shot.
Yeah, and you look at some of these numbers, field goal percentage, 3rd in the conference offensively, but also 3rd defensively for opponent field goal percentage, and I think that's a key number in the sense that they're scoring at a very respectable clip, but they're holding their opponents at a low mark as well, and we saw that especially against the Pioneers, that anytime the Pioneers got ahead, the defense stepped up. And really held the opponents down, and that was a big plus. And so before we take a timeout and send it to public address announcer Justin Corrigan, and then we'll get our Kalia Butler players to watch right after that. Overall feel for the game, let's start with the Firebirds. What do they have to do to come away with a home victory here on holiday break?
Well, I think, as always, they need to take care of the basketball, something they did a pretty good job against a swarming Carroll defense. Only gave up 12 turnovers, I believe, last game. But, again, trying to find the right mixture on offense so where Green and Orozco don't have to carry too much of the burden.
Yeah, and you mentioned the likes of Pekaski having a big impact in recent games. And on the flip side, before we hand it over, Thunder, keys to victory.
Yeah, Kate Oliver has been a great player for them all season, second team all CCIW last year. So they're going to lean on her this game as they do all season. And that senior is really going to be a tough player to defend for the Firebirds.
Handing it over now to Justin Corrigan, public address announcer.
Welcome to Tarble Arena for today's CCIW women's basketball game between the Wheaton College Thunder and your Carthage College Firebirds. Please direct your attention towards the American flag located at the north end of the arena. Coffin of Captain Frank Vaver, a Carthage student who died in Vietnam in 1970. The flag is a gift to the college from his parents. In remembering Captain Vaverin, we pay tribute to all who have sacrificed their lives for our country and honor those who today put themselves in harm's way in service to America. At this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts which was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, fans, it's time to meet today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Thunder of Wheaton College. At guard, a 5'7" junior from Kenosha, California, number 13, Lily Cato. At guard, a 5'9" junior from New Orleans, Louisiana, number 22, Petra Trumbach. At guard, a 5'10" senior from Falls Church, Virginia, number 24, Kate Oliver. At forward, a 5'9" senior from Perkin, Illinois, number 30, Grace Kaiser. And at forward, a 5'11" junior from Petone, Illinois, number 32, Jenna Hunter. The head coach of the Thunder is Kent Madsen. Coach Madsen is assisted by Joanna Kudkowski and Tori Henning. All right, Firebirds fans, make some noise. It's showtime.
You should see me in a crowd. I'm gonna win, there's nothing to help. Watch me make 'em bow one by one by one, one by one by. You should see me in a crowd. Your silence is my favorite sound. Watch me make 'em bow one by one by one, one by one by one.
And now the starting lineup for your Carthage College Firebirds. At guard, a 5'5" senior from St. Viator High School and from Hoffman Estates, Illinois, number 4, Nora Ura. At guard, a 5'7" senior from Madison La Follette High School in Madison, Wisconsin, number 10, Malia Green. At guard, a 5'9" sophomore from Hampshire High School in Gilbert, Illinois, number 22, Whitney Thompson. At guard, a 5'10" senior from Schaumburg High School in Schaumburg, Illinois, number 34, Alyssa Orozco. And at forward, a 6' junior from Lake Park High School and hailing from Itasca, Illinois, number 44, Grace Core. The head coach of the Firebirds is Megan Jones. Coach Jones is assisted by Madison Nish and graduate assistant Katie Willoughby.
And welcome one, welcome all to the CCIW Network's presentation of college women's basketball. Alongside Eric Elger, I'm Peter Ferreri. We will be joined momentarily by sideline reporter Kalia Butler. It's the Battle of the Thunder taking on the Firebirds. It is Christmas break in Kenosha, but things, of course, are going to heat up here on the court, and we're excited for this conference matchup. Both teams looking for win number one in conference play. Now sending it to sideline reporter Kalia Butler.
Some players to watch for today. For Carthage, it's going to be Malia Green, who has proven to be a three-level scorer for the Firebirds. She's coming off a 13-point performance where she had 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks against their loss to Carroll just earlier this week. But also on the other side, you have Kate Oliver, who is going to be their main offensive threat for Wheaton today.
Thank you for that, Kalia, and welcome into the broadcast. And just like that, Wheaton with a hot start. And again, we said it may be cliche, but who gets the hot start is going to be so impactful because neither of these teams, they've been able to come back but not able to finish the job, Eric.
Yeah, it just feels like they've kind of dug themselves into holes that just really battling uphill the whole game. So you'd like to see the Firebirds start out hot. They're moving the ball well here in this first possession.
Roscoe back iron, no good. Defensive board picked up 24. Kate Oliver out of Church Falls, Virginia. Leading scorer, Kate Oliver, as mentioned, offensively 15 points a game, over double what her teammate Lauren Ham has been able to do.
And Lauren Ham really taking a step up this year, the sophomore. A great three-point shooter. Look for her to stay involved in the offense early on for Wheaton.
Man-to-man defense, throwing it up. Aram keeps her hands up, and that's just going to go out of play errantly. Looking for some sort of contact to no avail was Petra Trumbach out of New Orleans, Louisiana, and she thought there was contact, but Aram arms up the whole time.
Yeah, and again, Coach Kent Madsen turning to really mixing the starting lineup as Petra Trumbach starts in only her 4th start of the season, so looking to see what she brings for his team this afternoon.
So it's a man-to-man defense for the Firebirds against the Thunder. A little bit of a 2-3 zone defensively for the Thunder. Orozco goes up, second attempt, no good. Who else? Oliver with another rebound.
And here the ball is going to be in the hands of, talked about Kate Oliver, who has just been a rock for this program. Fourth year senior. Second team all CCIW, one of the best players in the conference.
Misguided pass, looked a bit high. Oliver couldn't hold it down. The overpass by one Lily Caddo out of Castiac, California.
And the Firebirds, what they've been finding successful is really getting those post touches down to someone like Grace Cord. If they can find her down low and let her go to work, they have a lot of success offensively.
Orozco up to Aram, starting alongside Grace Cord. Malia Green. Up, right hand and good, crisp passing underneath the basket. Outstanding pass and go. Also in the starting lineup, one Whitney Thompson.
Great movement off the ball there from Grace Cord as the drive from Green opens up the defense and she sneaks in there for the easy layup.
Pass down low, back iron, no good. Orozco comes up with the pieces. Aram trying to set the tone. The D1 transfer from UIC. Came over a year and a half ago, started mid-season. And I think it's always such a unique story, Eric, in the sense for Aram. At this point, 2 years ago, she was still in Chicago and still a UIC Flame, and then decided over the Christmas break, holiday break, to make the jump to a different school. Got granted that eligibility because she was going from D1 to D3, and waited now till her senior year, but has cracked the starting lineup and a key contributor for the Firebirds.
Exactly, leads the team in assists this season so far.
Malia Green comes down with the rebounds, had her left hand taped for a few games now. Pass inside for Cord, a player that Coach Jones is wanting to get more involved in the offense. Can they do so here? Up off the glass, good. The answer to that question is yes.
And And there we go. Grace Cord again going to work. Someone who is so efficient from the floor, shooting 62% from the field. So when she gets the ball and puts it up, Firebird fans got a good feeling it's going in.
Looking to the inside. Cord defensively. Good penetration up and good. Jenna Hunter out of Peatone, Illinois. And Hunter in the 1v1 matchup trying to answer right back for what Cord's able to do. However, Hunter only averaging about 4.5 a game. So I am sure head coach Kent Matson excited to get her involved early on.
Yeah, and he really spreads the minutes out. You take a look at the minutes distribution this season. There are quite a few players averaging over 20 minutes, so he will turn to the bench. He'll use different players throughout the game and really try to play that chess match against Coach Jones today, see if he can find the right pieces.
Quick sub in early on is Lydia Brogan out of East Lansing, Michigan. Giving a break early on to the aforementioned 5'11 Hunter. And I know it's early in the season, but 1 and 2 in conference standings is a world of difference than 0 and 3, as that one almost an and one opportunity is Grace Kaiser from Pekin, Illinois, played for Pekin Community College, or played for, Illinois College before transferring over. And again, the offer is not the way anybody wants to start, and so even that first win could be so crucial for either of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, nobody likes seeing a 0 in that win column, especially in conference play. So both teams really fighting to get that first win, and by all intents and purposes, it should be a really close matchup throughout the game.
So in the contest now is number 14 for the Birds, Delaney Elsmore, the 5'6" sophomore out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, joined as well by Jessie Pekaski and, of course, Winters. Green tries to go up and under. She gets it swatted away at the last minute, so about 4.5 into the opening quarter of action, and 2 starters remain on the court. And Jessie Pekaski, we mentioned it in the last contest against the Pioneers, played more so her junior year. Last year, a lot of bigs rose to the occasion. Knebel and the transfer of Lauren Carlson, Grace Cord as a sophomore, so kind of pushed Pekaski down that depth chart. But now her senior campaign, the all-conference cross-country runner, is more or less that 6th man off the bench now.
Yeah, it really provides a lot of energy and very good defensively. When they run that full court press, she is the top of that press and causes a lot of havoc with the wingspan that she has.
Winters couldn't find the bucket. That baseline success has been a good point for her this season. Like to get her involved offensively as well. It's kind of the agenda for Coach Jones. Not worried as much about what the team does defensively, albeit that was a nice drive and that was a tough shot. Up to her first basket for Kate Oliver, and that's a hard one.
Yeah, just the senior able to come up with something out of her bag there to get 2 points for Wheaton, and they need her. Every point they get, the Thunder really rely on number 24 in blue.
Give and go. Elsmore couldn't make the shot on the attempt. Under 5 to go in half number 1 on the CCIW network. Driving in, Winters falls away. That might be a travel, and it is. So Winters kind of giving way to Lydia Brogan and saying, okay, you want to come in that fast, I'll give you an extra step, and next thing you know, she hits the court, and it's a travel. She had nowhere to go with it. But with that being said, first time out of quarter number 1, we'll keep it here. Eric, if anybody's interested in applying to Carthage College, what do they have to do?
Absolutely. Take the next step in your educational journey with Carthage College. The admissions process is simple. Whether you're an undergraduate, transfer, graduate, or international student, visit carthage.edu/apply for details, or contact our admissions team at 800-351-4058 or at admissions@carthage.edu. We look forward to welcoming you to the Firebird family.
Looking at the numbers, Cord all the offense right now for the Firebird, so it's an agenda item, as we mentioned, for Coach Jones, but you'd like for some of her teammates to start helping her out. Right now, Orozco 0 for 3, and Winters 0 for 1, Elsmore 0 for 1. So they haven't tried a lot of outside shots today, and one of the challenges Wheaton had in their recent loss to Elmhurst was they were forced to the outside. They were forced to take a lot of three-pointers. It didn't really prove itself fruitful, and right now Wheaton, they're kind of flipping the script. They're saying, okay, we were forced by Elmhurst to be on the outside. We're just going to try to penetrate as much as we can, and it gives them a 4-point lead halfway through quarter number 1.
Yeah, and really getting inside can be an advantage for Wheaton because last game out they shot 15 of 17 from the free throw line. So shooting well from behind the free throw line as a team, and if they can get to those drives, and we've already seen a couple drives where Carthage has fouled them, so that's another part of their game plan that they can make work for them if they can get to the line.
Green looks for Rom, decides to hold it. Looks Winters inside, out for Pekaski. The quick trigger, rolls off the right side of the rim, no good. Winters tries to toss it back in, hits the line. Now, I will say this, for those joining us for the first time this season, of course, welcome into the CC, the new CCIW network. But one thing that we saw with Pekaski early on in the season, she was maybe a little hesitant, Eric, to pull the trigger on that three, and Coach Jones was like, hey, it's open, take it. That's that transition now, a few games into the season. You'd rather her take that wide open shot and miss than hold on to it and look for the pass.
Exactly, only her 4th three-point attempted this season. Hasn't made one yet, but, I mean, if you're going to be dangerous as a team on offense, you got to have all 5 players ready to put it up, and, you know, you got to have confidence that you're going to see that thing go through the twine.
Elsmore into Winters. Winters backing in, nowhere to go. Out to Pekaski, back to Winters. It's that 4 and 5 change, and Winters tries to bounce it to Green unsuccessfully, who is open on the baseline. Offense setting up now for the Thunder. Lauren Ham out of Irvine, California. And how about that 3 ball? Finding the outside is Brogan. And as mentioned, one of the challenges for the Thunder against Elmhurst was that outside shot. Brogan now her 4th 3 of the season.
And there just found her wide open and takes advantage of that.
So Pekaski called for the off-ball foul, getting a little aggressive, looking for positioning against number 21, Chloe Kostka, out of McKinney, Texas. We always talk about Wheaton when you say to yourself, wow, you know, you've mentioned California, Ohio, Mississippi, Texas, Peatone, Illinois. You know, you have players from coast to coast. Wheaton, a very renowned school for high academics and a very high faith-based school, and so they're able to get some top-notch players from coast to coast. Forcing it up, hits the rim, no good. Shot clock expires nonetheless. Elsmore out to Orozco. She takes a step and a travel called, shuffled the feet after the initial go, and Orozco right now, she's the offensive firepower. As Malia Green early on in the first 2 or 3 games, Orozco's really rose to the occasion, however scoreless this afternoon.
Yeah, that was the right idea from Orozco because you saw the hard closeout, so all she needed to do is put that ball on the deck and drive, but refs call her for traveling before she can get to the rim.
Hand in the face, Pekaski forces a bad errant shot off the back iron, no good. Orozco with the rebound. You know, with the likes of Knebel, as mentioned last season, and throughout her career, the transfer of Carlson, it was a much different lineup last year, and Mariana Morrissey, so you had 3 key players. And Malia Green, one of those players, Coach Jones said she's still here. She was one of those rising seniors, and we need her to take that leadership role, and she's done just that and has increased the vocal leadership, as well as Green has mentioned, second leading scorer for the Birds.
That's what you like to see from Malia Green. Again, a really hard closeout from the Thunder defense, and she just blows by her defender and takes it up easy.
Oliver drives baseline, looks for contact, doesn't get the foul, but gets the shot in. Lead extended 13-6 now, second bucket for Kate Oliver. Orozco takes a step back, nowhere to go. Zone defense we mentioned for the Thunder, but it is a quick zone. Green gets the rotation and gets inside, and Malia Green starting to heat up back-to-back buckets, 60 seconds to go in quarter number 1.
And there you see second leading scorer in the team really going to work here last 2 possessions, getting Carthage to cut into that lead.
You know, I think one thing to mention as well, a full court press team the first 2 years for the Firebirds, and Elsmore gets called for the foul as a deep penetration by Trumbach. But I think it bears mentioning, Eric, and you can expound on it more. The last 2 seasons, it's been a full court press defense for the Firebirds. They're more so trying to get players in the half court now and then really clamp down.
Yeah, I know that Coach Jones mentioned when they were doing that the previous years, that she talked about how she wanted to speed up the other team's offense, but now I believe she trusts her defense more in the half court, and they've really stepped up. I mean, the Carthage defense has been there all season long. So you still see Jones when they need to turn up the pressure. They still can go to it, but yeah, you're right. Not just 100% trap all game like they have been in seasons before.
Elsmore looks off to the left side. 20 to go, 10-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. That's going to poke out of bounds, and that's going to be last touch by Aram, possession, Thunder.
Yeah, just loses the handle there, and Carthage, 5 turnovers here in the first quarter. So if you want to point to something here, why they're down 6, just too many empty possessions on the offensive end.
Holding on for the last possession is Oliver. Over to Ham. Again, that tough half-court defense now, allowing only 14 to Wheaton in quarter number 1. Ham nowhere to go. With one hand in the face, Elsmore, and airing it out to the right side is Petra Trumbach to no avail. And we'll go momentarily to Kalia Butler, but first let's thank one of the sponsors, Badger Bus. For over a century, Badger Bus has provided safe and reliable transportation between Wisconsin and Minnesota. Whether for work, school, or a big game, Badger Bus ensures drivers experience why generations trust the red and white buses. Learn more at badgerbus.com and book your next trip today. Now sending it to sideline reporter Kalia Butler with a very intriguing story in terms of storylines here today. Kalia, what do you got?
Kate Oliver for Wheaton College, who is an incredibly dynamic player. We've seen her get downhill on a few possessions so far. Megan Jones said that's exactly what they want to limit her doing. They want to stay disciplined defensively going up against her, but they want to make sure that they can clog the paint so that they can limit those deep paint touches from her where she can either kick out or attack the rim. She's gotten herself to the free throw line quite a bit throughout the season, not so much today, but is a player that can pick up at any point and score in bunches.
Thank you for that detailed report, Kalia. And Eric, you know, we've kind of seen it so far today. The years you and I have broadcast here in the CCIW, it's kind of been the story. You know that Oliver is going to get hers. It's just a matter of when and can you limit it.
Yeah, and exactly. And Kalia mentioned how many times she's been to the free throw line. She's already shot 50 free throws on the season. Second on the team, just at 19. So, I mean, by far their best player at getting to the free throw line. And they really do shoot the ball well from the behind the line. And yeah, just if you can stop those penetrations, if you can keep her off the foul line, that really slows her down and puts pressure on other players for the Thunder to step up.
Green off to the right, looks deep. Orozco, another three-pointer to no avail. And again, when those start falling, that's when it's lethal offensively for the Firebirds. Only 8 in period number 1 so far, and that's been kind of the challenge we mentioned in the pregame, Eric, is the Firebirds, they can score. It's just a matter, can they score enough early and they don't utilize their effort on the comeback. Another miss, another board. Pushing the pace near side. Ham thought about pulling up from 3, takes a step back. Resets up the offense. The man-to-man defense continues on for the Firebirds. Thunder spreading out the aforementioned defense. 15 left on the shot clock. Left wing, Oliver. Looks for the screen. Drives baseline successfully. Right foot at the block. Up from the free throw line. Rolls around and good for 32, Jenna Hunter. And this is absolutely the start the Thunder were looking for.
Yeah, and there you see Kate Oliver demanding the attention of the Firebirds, and she sees the open player right in the paint and pops and makes it in. And yeah, Carthage down 8 here, and it's really been a handful from Kate Oliver dictating the offensive side.
Inside, Cord gets it swiped away by Ham. Ham just came in the middle of the night. Cord didn't see her and just swiped it away.
And the Thunder know where they want to try to get the ball, Grace Cord, and they collapse down on her and steal it away.
Aram was trying to get it to a Roscoe. She was cutting when Aram was passing, and miscommunication bringing it down Cord. And 2 minutes into quarter number 2, Carthage still looking for their first points of the second frame.
Yeah, those turnovers biting them again. I mean, you look at the stats so far. I mean, really shooting percentage, not that different. Just Thunder got a couple more buckets, but really it's those empty possessions where Carthage, I mean, so early in the shot clock like that too, where you don't force the Thunder to play defense much at all.
Side of the rim, no good. Carthage shooting 30% from the field. Ofer from three-point land. Green lethal from 3, drives in nonetheless. And right now, Malia Green having to take over the entire offense for the Birds. 6 out of the 10 points for Carthage by way of Malia Green.
Yeah, I love that pass there from Grace Cord. Again, they collapse down on her in the paint. It leaves her teammates up on the perimeter, but right back there, Grace Kaiser knocking down a 3 in response.
Kaiser 1 for 6 from 3 this season. And right now, Thunder are finding all sorts of way to get things going offensively. Grace Cord, however, answers the call high off the backboard.
Yeah, I can't believe she put that in there from that angle, but that shows the skill that she's got finishing around the basket in there. 2 straight touches for Grace Cord in the paint, 2 straight buckets for the Firebirds.
Turnaround jumper, no good. Cord comes away with it. Right now, 44% from the field is Wheaton, including 50% from 3. And Malia Green is right now, Eric, just saying, and it's off the foot of Oliver. Aram with a quick turnaround poke. Oliver frustrated. But I was saying Malia Green, 8 out of 14 points are by way of her, and she's just saying, give me the rock and let me go.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think that Wheaton's going to try to adjust defensively because she was just blowing by him on the perimeter there. I mean, they're trying to close out, and she takes one dribble, and bam, she's at the hoop. So the speed of Malia Green proven to be very lethal this afternoon so far.
On the inbound, the trap took it away from Orozco. In the contest now, Lily Caddo. Open, left wing, good. Page for Warda out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Lead extended to 8.
And they're the third three-pointer of the game. Last time out, they only had 4 against Elmhurst.
Cord turning around with the left hand. 8 for Cord, 8 for Green, 8 plus 8.
16.
And that's how many points the Firebirds have. I can do elementary math. Orozco goes into the stands. And an and 1 for the Thunder. And going to the line for 2 is going to be Caddo out of Trinity Classical Academy High School. And anytime the Birds get a little bit of offense, they've now matched their entire first quarter output. Had 8 in quarter number 1. They have 8 already in quarter number 2. But Wheaton hasn't stopped scoring in their own right.
Yeah, that really has been what it's felt like. Anytime Carthage has been able to get a bucket, I mean, Wheaton down right on the other end, lightning quick and able to get those points back.
Pekaski back in the contest. So right now, if it's in Cord or Green's hands, you can expect good things. Cord, ill-advised pass, trying to find Green. Green almost swipes it away. Layup with the left hand, no good. Huge follow-through rebound. Open for 3. Off the backboard, no good. Orozco pushes the pace. Green drives, switches left to right hand, can't find the bucket. Pace is picked up frantically midway through quarter number 2.
Yeah, it's something that's been playing into Wheaton's hand so far with 5 fast break points, and you can tell when they get the ball defensively, they're looking to run to the other end. They use a deep bench, so they know they got their players fresh, and they like to use that to their advantage.
McCaskey bringing it up court. 9-point lead for the Thunder. Cord backing in her defender, double teamed. Pekaski for 3. No good. Offensive board. Cord bounces it to Elsmore to reset up. Can Green find the trifecta? No good again. Elsmore pop shot, right hand, no good. Multiple second chance opportunities for the Firebirds, but they can't find the basket.
Yeah, good looks all around there, just not able to cash in, and the offensive glass helping to keep that alive, but still not able to find a bucket.
Falling away, and Pekaski called with the foul. Arm extension against number 11 for Werda, the freshman out of Michigan. And second personal already on Pekaski. 25-16 your score. And Eric, while we have a moment, let's thank the BCU Credit Union.
At BCU Credit Union, we empower individuals to achieve financial freedom. As a member-owned, not-for-profit credit union serving Chicago and Wisconsin. We offer services like checking accounts, savings, mortgages, and financial planning. Join us at bcu.org and experience a better way to bank.
Looking at the score, once again, 16 points, Green and Cord. And I will say this, if you're going to have 2 players be your offensive output for Carthage, it's good to at least see it's one of your guards and one of your forwards, because they're truly at the opposite ends of each offensive set. And so that's why you see them, even Eric, trying to feed each other now, saying, hey, we have the hot hands. Let's try to get it to each other. As you see there, however, Carthage 0 for 6 from 3, very uncharacteristic for a Coach Jones team.
Yeah, just not able to connect, and we saw a couple possessions ago where they were getting offensive rebounds, keeping it alive, and just not able to connect. But taking a look at these game stats here, again, I think the number one thing you're going to circle is 9 turnovers here already, so that's tough for the Firebirds to kind of to go against, because when they're not hitting from the three-point line and you're giving possessions away, that's how Wheaton has slowly built this lead.
Under 4 to go at the free throw line for the Thunder. Number 11 is for Werda. And no good, too hard off the back iron. For Werda, 8 for 14 coming into today's contest from the free throw line. So just that click above that 500 mark and trying to get the second, and that one rims in and good. 10-point lead, biggest lead of the afternoon for the Thunder. Again, the Firebirds, a much more defensive-minded team. Elsmore with the floater off the right hand. Nice finger roll. Shades of Clyde, the Glide Drexler, for anybody old enough to remember.
Yeah, that's nice recognition there from Elsmore, because she takes one more dribble. She's in the land of giants there, but just popping just outside that area. And a nice touch, soft touch, and that's where Carthage has been effective offensively, is off the bounce, trying to attack to the rim.
5 left on the shot clock. Fading away, off the side iron, no good. Elsmore tries to swipe it away, goes near side. Coach Jones and Aram having a conversation as Aram makes her way up court, and Pekaski able to dodge out of the way just in time. Reminder, we're going to have a conversation with Carthage's head coach, Megan Jones, right at the beginning of halftime. She'll join Kalia Butler on the sideline to recap the opening half of action. Elsmore rims out the 3 and just a lid on it this afternoon. Pekaski with a huge rebound. Aram decides not to take it. Orozco, fearless from 3, airs it to the right side. Thompson swats it back in, but she hits, or Winters, excuse me. She has a foot on the line.
Yeah, Orozco struggling so far this afternoon. 0 for 4, 0 for 5 from the field. And teammates have found her, but just not able to get that thing to go in. Look for her to maybe attack off the bounce and see if she can mix up her offensive game and might stretch her range out a little bit as she sees the ball go in the hoop.
In the contest now, Anne-Marie Stradinger. Stradinger, excuse me. Got confirmation it's a jur, not a gur.
And that's kind of the interesting thing we've talked about with Wheaton is that, they're kind of hard to prepare for. I mean, you got to scout their entire roster essentially, and they really mix and match. And, if you're on the Thunder bench, there's a good chance you're going to get some minutes tonight, and they really divvy out and divide those minutes out pretty evenly against all the players.
And that's good. So Nora Aram gets her first point of the afternoon.
It's good to see them get to the free throw line, just their first 2 free throws of the game. So Aram able to capitalize both of those.
Well, and like we've mentioned on other broadcasts this year for the Firebirds women program, do we have a timeout called? Yes, we do. Heads up play by Aram, gets the free throws, immediately forces the hand defensively, and there's that full court press that we kind of saw in years past with the Firebirds, and now it's that back pocket item for Coach Jones. Oh, hey, we haven't done it yet. Here it comes. Now try to adjust, and it proved itself very successful in the last few possessions.
Yeah, and I think you can see the Thunder look pretty uncomfortable against the full court pressure. A couple turnovers caused. I mean, we saw just Whitney Thompson there knock it away. So, I mean, that's another thing to do if you're the Firebirds when you're struggling a little bit behind the arc. You're turning the ball over. Well, how about you try to force some turnovers of your own and get that ball back? And fortunately for Carthage, the half-court pressure, or the full-court pressure, rather, has really caused some disruption for the Wheaton Thunder.
6-point differential. Birds with a 3 can bring it back to a 1-possession game. Elsmore goes for the 3, another rim out, and my goodness, her shots this afternoon, Eric, I mean, there's none closer than the in and out that we've seen there, and that is going to be a backcourt violation. Misguided pass by one Grace Kaiser, the Illinois college transfer.
I know, it's kind of, I hate to use a baseball analogy, but it's kind of like when you're hitting the ball hard and it's just right at people. Here she's doing everything right. I mean, the ball's halfway down the hoop and just not falling. So Elsmore, I think he'd still be confident of those misses because it just doesn't seem quite fair how they're not going down.
Well, it probably looks as big as a garbage truck right now and just hitting the rim. And, oh, nice play. That's what you expect time in and time out by one Kate Oliver, one of the leaders of the program, the senior now for the Thunder.
Yeah, great footwork there to not get the travel.
Front of the rim, no good. Elsmore can't swat it away. And, of course, Eric, you and I very fortunate to be the home broadcasters for the Firebirds for a few years now. And I always like to give credit where it's due. It's fun to see players like Oliver come back to Firebirds Arena here at Tarble and be able to see great quality players across the CCIW conference.
Yeah, exactly. We're fans of basketball. I mean, we respect the game of someone like Kate Oliver and really does everything well for the team. And, yeah, I mean, it makes the CCIW great when you got competition up and down.
Pekaski, the track and cross-country star, comes away with the steal. The handoff, Winters, blocked by Oliver, but it'll hit the line, and luckily enough didn't hit Winters on the way back. And the offensive firepower checking back in now for the Firebirds. Green, Cord Orozco. Also to note, Orozco has her right forearm taped right now, so maybe a cut.
Yeah, kind of an interesting, you don't see it really, that armband right below the elbow. Hopefully it doesn't affect her shot at all.
Off to the left side, Aram, pop up, 3 ball, no good off the iron as well. And a foul going to be called against Thompson.
And just nothing going from behind the arc now, 0 for 11. I mean, something you can take away as a positive. I mean, you got to believe that the Firebirds are going to shoot like that in the second half. And to just be down 8, really haven't seen their best basketball yet. They've hung around enough for some turnovers to make this game as close as it is.
Nice trap at the top. Orozco comes away with it. Up ahead to Aram. 8-point differential. Aram, the fake, pump fake to Green, went up strong, fouled. Let's see if it's against Oliver potentially, and it is. So Kate Oliver, the offensive juggernaut for the Thunder. First foul with 25 ticks remaining in the opening half. You'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Aram, with the shot clock and game clock almost exactly where they were, she could have held out for a last shot, but I like the aggressiveness. She saw the lane, and with their team down 8, decided to get a head full of steam and just plow onto the basket and was able to knock both free throws down.
And Aram making her presence known from the free throw line. Only 8 points in the opening quarter for the Firebirds, now up to 22, so a very successful quarter number 2 with 12. Reminder, we're going to go to Kalia Butler on the sideline with Coach Jones in just a few moments. Before Coach Jones heads into the locker room, misguided pass. Green up ahead. Aram with 2, with 1, sails it, no good. But solid attempt, and Eric, a strong end to quarter number 2 for the Firebirds.
Yeah, really it came from the defensive end, as now Wheaton up to 8 turnovers, and when they put the pressure up on defense, it allowed their offense to get some more looks, and that's really what is turned around here in the first half.
When you look at the scoring, both teams end up with 14 points in quarter number 2. Wheaton 14 in the first, 14 in the second, so as even as you can go for the Thunder. But Carthage 4 for 11 in the first, 5 for 18 in the second, still 0 for from three-point land. But the free throws, no free throws in the opening quarter of action for Carthage, but they got all 4 of their chances, and that being Nora Aram in quarter number 2.
Yeah, exactly. Just taking it to the basket, being aggressive, and that's something that Carthage will look to continue in the second half, as their dribble drive has really been the best part of their offense so far. So expect Coach Jones to keep relying on that.
Again, we're going to go momentarily to Kalia Butler with Coach Jones when she finishes her quick conversation with the staff, looking through the stats momentarily, and then we'll take a halftime break and then come back with the halftime report, stats, highlights, recaps, and more on the Firebird Broadcasting Network, now part of the CCIW network. Sending it down to sideline reporter Kalia Butler with Coach Jones. Kalia, take it away.
Coach, you guys are starting to find your shot a little bit, just not falling for you right now. However, turnover has been a little bit of a battle for you. How does that impact finding an offensive rhythm?
Yeah, I think we're turning the ball over in ways we don't normally do, and I think we just need to settle in a little bit. We're pushing them to transition. We want to transition as much as we can, but we want to make simple passes. We're trying to make tough passes that they're picking off. They're causing some pressure. We just got to look to get downhill, get to the paint more. When we get it in to the paint, whether it's off of a drive or whether it's off of a post touch, good things happen. We just got to get the ball moving a lot better.
Defensively, you had some strong stances towards the end of the second quarter. How does that begin to fuel your offense?
Yeah, we got to string together defensive stops. We talk about defensive kills, getting 3 in a row so we can string that together and let that fuel our offense. Settle in offensively. We haven't made a 3, and so another reason we got to work to keep getting downhill. Let that kind of settle in and then look for that kick out afterwards. But it all starts on the defensive end. I said that at the quarter, that who's going to work harder, because right now they were outworking us. I think we responded better in the second quarter, but we got to do that all 20 minutes of the next half.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right, thanks so much, Kalia, for that halftime conversation with Coach Jones. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we are going to have stats, highlights, and more. We'll return shortly on the CCIW network. And welcome back to the halftime show. For Eric Elger, I'm Peter Ferreri. We will be joined momentarily by Kalia Butler, looking through some of the first half stats. 9 for 29, not ideal for the Birds, including 0 for 11 from 3. They have one more rebound than the Thunder and tied in turnovers. But I think for all intents and purposes, our stats today brought to you by Pullman Auto Stores. And, of course, lineups continually brought by the Doctors of Physical Therapy. But, Eric, I don't want to say it couldn't go much worse offensively, but it didn't go really well offensively for the Birds, and they're still within 6.
Yeah, exactly. I think once you saw the Firebirds really turn it up defensively, the offense started to click. So I think continue in the second half is continue to put pressure on the ball handlers of the Thunder because they just look uncomfortable with what the Firebirds have been able to do. And once the Firebirds have been able to turn them over, those opportunities open up more on the offensive end.
Yeah, you see the bench points favoring the Thunder, but points in the paint for the Birds, and that's not just Grace Cord, that's Malia Green driving to the lane, and we'll have more on that in just a minute. But now sending to sideline reporter Kalia Butler with her halftime update. Kalia?
Peter, you mentioned it best. The Firebirds are a team that rely on getting those paint touches. As you just mentioned, 16 points in the paint compared to Wheaton's 10. That's going to be a priority for them, considering they have not made a 3 in this game just yet. 0 from 3 from the three-point line. Eventually, we'll start to see some of those falling. A couple of unforced turnovers that have thrown them a little bit out of their rhythm. But Coach Jones has mentioned that they need to play a full 40-minute game. They've played 30-minute games, 35-minute games, but they need to get to that full 40-minute mark, ideally coming out in the second half with a re-emerged sense of energy and ready to get this game started.
Thank you for that, Kalia. And again, just adding on to like what she said, what she mentioned about what Coach Jones said, it's a full 40-minute game for a reason, and that's the second half offensively of what you'd like to see from what the Firebirds can do. And you add some bench points, you add 1 or 2 threes, it's a tie ball game, if not a lead for the Birds.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, by no means is Carthage getting played out of the gym here in the first half. It just, I mean, you almost think like if Carthage could eliminate the first quarter and just go to the quarter second, 3 and 4, I mean, that's where they really played well. It's just been bitten by the slow first quarters. But, yeah, look for them to continue to get the ball into court in the paint, and whether she's getting the buckets herself, but she's finding cutters coming from the three-point arc. So it's been a huge inside-outside game for the Firebirds.
28-22 your score as we approach quarter number 3. Again, besides the 8 points from Cord and 8 from Green, 4 from the free throw line for Aram, and Elsmore 1 for 6 on the right-handed floater in the paint. And we're about to start quarter number 3. Once again, for Eric Elger and Kalia Butler, I'm Peter Ferreri. Starters on the court for both squads, and we're excited to be with you this Saturday afternoon in December. Eric, who'd have thought that the year, I think it just, you know, the old adage, it gets faster when you get older. I feel that it was a year ago you and I were talking in this very stage, and turning around with a quick shot is Hunter, and that's been her bread and butter all game, the deep penetration in one-on-one situations against Cord and able to find the bottom of the net.
Yeah, just when she's able to get her feet that far into the paint, it's tough to stop just the turnaround, just muscles their way into that bucket.
Orozco looks out for Aram, resetting up the defense. Under 10 on the shot clock. Aram not much to go with it. The turnaround keeps it herself, goes for Orozco for 3. Can it be the first one? And an air ball shot, and it graces Grace Cord on the way down, and again, lid on the hoop from long range.
Yeah, a nice look there from Aram with the shot clock running down, able to find Orozco. Just again, just nothing falling.
Trying to get a 3, and again, rimming out to no avail is Grace Kaiser. Wheaton 3 for 9 from 3, so it's not as if they're much more successful, but you know, the little buckets here and there adds up to that 8-point lead for the Thunder.
You see they look to really pass the ball around, and there they were able to get Cord by herself under the paint.
Nice passing. Can Aram find it? Yes, she can. Oh, how nice was that, Eric? Cord drew the double right under the hoop. The one touch to Green. The defense converged on Green. She got it over to Aram, wide open from the left wing, and Birds back to within 5.
Yeah, and that's just really credit to the passing of the Firebirds. They were able to swing it, get it to the other side, and found Cord by herself. And one thing leads to another, an open look, and finally a 3 for the Firebirds.
So Carthage gets their first 3. But a second foul on Grace Cord, and that was one of Cord's challenges her first 2 years at the helm for the Firebirds was, she'd get the offense, but they would try to exploit things defensively and get her in some untimely matchups and cause the foul. Mind you, only 2 fouls right now, but for your starting number 5, she's the last player you really want to get into foul trouble because that's kind of one of the shorter areas of the team in terms of depth of the bench and as well height, of course, being that 5 position. So good to see that rebound off the miss. Aram tries to penetrate. No going. Looks for Cord again. Nothing there. Orozco looks to feed Cord now. Decides to take the screen instead. Pops out to Cord. One more touch. Aram, the open 3. No good, but the shot was there.
Again, great extra pass there from the Firebirds, and you could see them cutting hard, and that was the cut from Whitney Thompson, was able to carve out an open shot there for Aram, and I think Firebirds offensively really look crisp with their passing here in the second half, and I think that's going to continue to lead to open looks.
Under 10 on the shot clock. Thunder have been forced. Blocked by Green. Clean touch, trying to throw it back in, but Orozco comes away with it. Green, the fast break. Almost an and one opportunity, just misses the layup. And Green stays on her feet, hits the padding, and she'll go to the line for 2 off the blocking foul. First foul called on 22, Petra Trumbach.
Yeah, how about that? Malia Green getting the block. Carthage recovers, and there's number 10 sprinting down the other way, and a great look. And that's another way, when you're struggling a little bit offensively, if you can get downhill, get those fast break points before Wheaton can set up, you're going to get some good opportunities, and now here Green's got to capitalize.
Missed the first free throw, misses the second, and as ironic as it may sound, Malia Green now 10 for 21 on the season from the free throw line, and for one of the most accurate shooters, even from long range, it's surprising to see the inaccuracies from the free throw line this season. Of course, got to say as the season progresses, that'll work itself out. But 0 for 2 this afternoon. To Cord, layup with the left hand and good.
And there another bucket there from the Firebirds, really picking up the pace offensively. Nice find there from Whitney Thompson. Little shovel scoop pass there and able to convert.
Poked by Thompson, and Cord comes away with the formal steal. Up ahead to Green. Green tried to force it through the hands of Caddo unsuccessfully. The bounce pass up and good. So the Thunder respond with exactly what Carthage was trying to do.
Yeah, they're taking it, the steal and fast break of their own, and nice distribution there from number 24, Kate Oliver.
And Thompson forces her way to the free throw line, and whether it's the women's program or the men's program, Eric, Carthage prides themselves on winning and losing games from the free throw line, so it's good to see right now the Firebirds starting to get back into that groove.
Exactly. They were held without a free throw for most of the first half, and it wasn't until Aram started getting there. And really, some of those free throws are at a needed time when the offense was really struggling, and now Carthage missing their last 3 free throws. So see if Thompson can reverse that trend.
Thompson gets the second. Officials today, while we have a moment, Matt Andrews, Ethan Broketrup, and Kayla Carter doing a stellar job this afternoon. Game 1 of 2 of a doubleheader. These same men's programs will face off less than 30 minutes following the conclusion of this game. Stick around right here on the CCIW network.
And And speaking of free throws, the Wheaton Thunder had Annie Tate, one of their players from last season, set a D3 and CCIW record for 28 made free throws last year. 28 makes for former player Annie Tate. That was an amazing game for her. And there, Aram continued to attack, and that's where Carthage has been successful getting to the rim.
Yeah, last time these two teams met, layup, right hand, good. The quickness of the Thunder coming to fruition, Cato. But it was a 60-57 victory for the Thunder, Feb the 15th of this year. Carthage all but tied at the end of 3, and by all but I mean it was tied at the end of 3, and then Wheaton edged ahead with 3 more, 20-17, outscoring Carthage in the 4th. And coming with that victory, Carthage 14-21 all-time against the Thunder.
Yeah, Thunder have been one of the better women's programs over the past few decades, really lent by Kent Madsen, who's in his 16th year as head coach, and he is currently second in win percentage in the CCIW, so second highest win percentage in the CCIW. So he's been able to mix and match and really do a nice job with this Thunder program.
Assisted by Joanna Guskowski and Tori Henning. Looking over the staff for the Firebirds, of course, Coach Megan Jones, her 3rd season. Assisted by Maddie Nitch, grad assistant Katie Wilhelmy, and story soon on new student manager Taylor Paulson. But while we have a minute, we want to thank Camosi Construction. Since 1910, Camosi Construction has built trust in Illinois and Wisconsin. As a family-owned business, they specialize in schools, police, and fire stations, and community facilities. Their commitment to quality and reliability has made them a trusted name in construction. Camosi completes projects on time, within budget, and with exceptional craftsmanship. Learn more at camosi.com. Camosi Construction, building trust since 1910. Carthage currently on a 5-game losing streak against the Thunder. They are 8-9, however, at home. First time they met, 2010, 69-52 victory for the Birds. Last victory, however, for Carthage was a 56-54 victory earlier last year, but nonetheless, 5-point lead for the Thunder. And I will say this, Eric, and you can expound. It feels like a bigger lead for the Thunder, but Carthage has been just sticking around, and that's exactly what you want. We always hear Coach Jones, get me to within 10 with 4 minutes left in the game, and we can make some magic happen. And Birds very close to that mark right now, but at the line for 2 is Kate Oliver, lining up and makes the first after the full timeout. So no Culver's cheese curds on that free throw.
Not yet, and she's a 70% free throw shooter, so we talked about how many opportunities she has, so no stranger to the free throw line. You mentioned how it feels like Carthage is down by so much more. They've only been leading the game. They had a lead for 25 seconds so far this game, so when it feels like, you know, Wheaton just been in front all game, I mean, it does feel like they're in, you know, Thunder in control, but credit to Carthage, is just sticking around, and we're going to wait for one of those runs from the Firebirds to get this game closer.
There's the trap, tipped almost, might have been by Pekaski, as the Thunder able to push the pace now. Resetting up the attack. Down low, that's that 1v1 matchup that Hunter loves, and an and one called against Grace Cord. And that is the strength. 9 points now for Hunter. And as mentioned, coming in today, Hunter averaging just a hair over 4 points a game. And so the Thunder exploiting the down-low presence of Hunter.
Yeah, they're isolating her down low against Grace Cord. And, I mean, when the ball's been entered to Jenna Hunter, she's had one thing on her mind, and that is backing down and getting to the rim. And she has been a freight train so far here in the third quarter.
Aram looks to reset up. Elsmore has subbed into the game. Pekaski and Cord down low. Cord stays in with 3 fouls. Aram nowhere to go with it. Staunch defense yet again by Ham. Orozco 1v1, nowhere to go. She tries to hand off in a sea of navy blue unsuccessfully. Elsmore gets the contact. Chloe Kostka, and the lead set at 5, and a mere moment later it's back up to 10. One of the biggest leads of the afternoon for the Thunder, with a chance to extend it after this and one opportunity.
Yeah, and both teams really been getting the ball and going, taking off, and Wheaton there getting the turnover, steal, and off to the races, and 7 fast break points so far this afternoon. But it's also been a lot of opportunities that have been opened up, like, for instance, this one right here to get to the free throw line.
7-point lead for the Thunder. Can it be 12? Indeed it can. Front, back of the rim, and the backboard. A 12-point lead for the Thunder, biggest of the afternoon. So 8 points scored in the opening quarter by the Firebirds. 14 in quarter number 2. Sitting now at 8 in quarter number 3.
It's going to be a
And
technical foul.
Yeah, Nora Aram called for the foul.
Yeah, she thought she was fouled on that shot, and she let the ref know it, and let the ref know it a little too much.
Yeah, ref was like, okay, you can have your opinion, but we're going to go in this direction instead.
Yeah, just kind of a frustration just out of Nora Aram there. She did really a nice job of backing down and getting to the paint, and yeah, I thought she was fouled there and got a couple words, and next thing you know, there's the tee.
Well, what's tough is Ham was moving when the contact came in. Aram tried to scoop around, so it was a moving block, but it didn't force Aram into that shot. But you saw the hands go out, and more times than not, you say anything with direct eye contact at the official. I think that's what the big change was.
I think that made a big factor in it too. Is now you take the technical foul and knock down a 3 as part of the possession. And how about that freshman, Chloe Costa out of McKinney, Texas. You wonder if days like this she might want to reconsider coming to such a cold part of the country. But hey.
Well, I was going to say, if you're a Firebirds fan, that's something you would hope she'd consider. Heading into the frozen tundra of Kenosha, Wisconsin. And that is Grace Cord's 4th foul. Coach Jones vehemently calling for a timeout. Technical foul, and Cord called for a foul. Coach Jones saying get to the bench. We'll keep it here, a 17-point lead. It is a 12-point run for the Thunder right now, Eric. And before we get into the breakdown of the contest, we also like to thank the Stella Hotel and Ballroom.
Make the Stella Hotel and Ballroom your home away from home. As a proud supporter of Carthage College, the Stella Hotel and Ballroom is honored to celebrate our college and local community. Visit online at stellahotelkenosha.com or call 262-842-2000.
We just were speaking how the Firebirds were keeping it close, although it didn't feel like it per se. And I mean, a run is a run, and a 12-0 run it's going to be challenging now. I mean, but look how quickly that happened when you crunch some of the numbers and look at how quickly it came to this point. It was 35-30. It is a scoreless 2.5 minutes for Carthage, including this 14-0 run. And with that being said, Grace Court, she's 5 for 5, but now with 4 fouls, that's going to really change the momentum. Or I shouldn't say the momentum, but the lineup now for the Firebirds, because you want her offense in, but also if she gets one more foul, that's all she wrote for the day.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is credit to Jenna Hunter, who really has gone, I mean, to use her last name, hunted Grace Cord there on her end, and she's caused Grace to pick up those fouls. And now we're going to have to turn to bench. We have to turn to the bench with Mallory Winters, who has had some nice games for the Firebirds, and you would expect her to play a big role here in the second half if Firebirds are going to come back. Winters going to have a key contributions here.
up to 18 now. A technical, some fouls. Trying to pass it to Green. It's tipped. And from what was a very, very close third quarter has now the Thunder pulling away up by 18 as the scoreless drought continues.
And more turnovers now, 14 for the Firebirds. And
turnaround jumper and a rare miss in quarter number 3. 2.5 to go.
yeah, credit to the Thunder. They've really done a nice job of getting in the passing lanes. And, you know, the Firebirds have thought they've had a open cutter, and they've just erased it.
And Mallory Winters weathers the storm and finally gets the Birds some offense.
Yeah, they're going to need some more of that because they've talked about their struggles from behind the arc. So Winters, the inside scoring, going to fall to her. And now she picks up a foul.
Yeah, so Winters tried for the steal, and understandably so. You're trailing by now 16. A 15-2 run in the last 3 minutes. And another make for Hunter as she is at 11 points. And it's just an outstanding outputting so far by one Hunter. Second free throw up and good as well. And as long as it makes it to the bottom of the net, it doesn't quite matter, Eric, how it gets in and how many times it hits the rim.
Yeah, Hunter, I mean, just to point out how the Firebirds have struggled, I mean, Hunter is pretty close to matching the entire output of the Firebirds offense so far in the third quarter, and that's why this lead is extended to where it has.
Alyssa Orozco finally gets more offense on her front, and a travel called. Season high, by the way, for Jenna Hunter, 6 points against Wisconsin Oshkosh, so she has already clearly surpassed the season high. 16 is the career high. That was accomplished last season. Elsmore drives in, hits the bottom of the backboard, but a foul going to be called from the far official. And Kaiser's second foul going to force Elsmore to the line, and Elsmore, who kind of plays that first guard off the bench, 5 for 6 from the free throw line coming into today. Up and good.
I mean, that's something you notice too here in the third quarter is they really have not taken as many three-point shots. I think that's an adjustment from Coach Jones is attack the hoop in those last 2 possessions with both Orozco and Elsmore able to get some looks.
An offensive rebound and a jump ball. This is the first jump ball, I believe, Eric, of the game with 1:30 remaining in the third. In the contest, Lisa Collin, the junior out of Geneva, fighting through.
That's what you like to see there for Lisa Collin, getting on the floor and diving on the floor and helping get the ball back to the Firebirds.
So again, with the foul trouble of Cord, forces the tinkering of the lineup. Elsmore wants 3, and again, close but no cigar.
Yeah, it's just frustrating to see just none of these dropping for the Firebirds. I mean, you know that at some point you would expect maybe the Firebirds to get a little run here, get hot behind the arc, because just law of averages, you expect them to get a few more here before the game's over.
Timeout called by Wheaton. Coach's timeout. 15 is the lead, 50-35. While we have a minute, we want to thank Culver's. Attention Firebirds fans, at every Carthage Athletic Home event, you have the opportunity to win free Culver's coupons. You could walk away with a tasty treat like free cheese curds or a scoop of delicious custard. Please note these coupons are only valid at Culver's locations in Kenosha. Don't miss your chance to score big on and off the field. Do you have a favorite custard flavor?
I mean, it's hard to go wrong with anything cookie dough, I feel like.
Clutch.
You know, you throw cookie dough in a lot of different combinations, and always be good.
The steal, Orozco, almost an and one opportunity, and Alyssa Orozco, the offensive juggernaut for the Birds, starting to find the heat with 1:16 remaining in the third. And again, can you get to that 10-point mark or less going into the fourth, a crucial remaining few moments of quarter number 3.
And I think you talk about this full court press. I mean, I think that has been one of the leading bullet points here for the Firebirds, how effective that has been. And their offense is really, I mean, you saw that just steal and a quick foul, and that's exactly what you need here for the Firebirds to get back in this game.
The steal, Green, layup and good. The full court press doing damage right now against the Thunder. The pass ahead, Elsmore comes up. The miss on the layup. Is it another jump ball? It is. That's going to stay with the Thunder, but good defense nonetheless by Carthage, really causing fits right now to Wheaton.
So yeah, you can see they're speeding up Wheaton, and nice job of the Firebirds with the gambling on that full court press. They get back in time to try to defend that shot, and Winters able to tie it up.
Conversation right now with the officials. I believe it's on the shot clock to make sure that there's enough left as a silence falls over the crowd here at Tarble Arena. Again, it just finished finals week a few moments ago, it seems. The men's game immediately following this contest. Post-game show with Leah Green trying to say, come on. She touched it. You didn't see it, but it happened.
It's like in volleyball where they
every time.
Always
touch,
begging for the touch.
Touch.
Yep.
Everybody throwing up the money sign. Dribble to the left. The screen. Orozco stuffed defense. No good. Orozco comes away with the rebound. 1 second between the clocks. Can the Birds bring it back to single digits? Down by 18. Winters keeps it herself. Almost loses the handle. Does lose the handle. Up ahead. Euro step. It's a miss. In the sea of hands, Winters comes away with it. And a foul going to be called against number 22 for the Thunder, Petra Trumbach. She was kind of saying to herself, well, what do you mean I got fouled? But Winters had it, and Trumbach tried to aggressively get in there. Understandably so. That's what you want to see from your players, but get a bit too aggressive, and Winters playing hardball. 50-39. Shot up and good.
Yeah, I think she definitely brings that toughness. I mean, there's been a couple times now she's been tying up the ball or drawing the foul, and, you know, sometimes that's what it takes to get your team back fired up and get into this game.
Missed free throw with 4, with 3, with 2. Penetration, did she get it off in time? She did not. Birds back to within 10 to finish quarter number 3. Before we send it to sideline reporter Kalia Butler momentarily, we'd also like to thank Pepsi. Nothing beats the crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi, whether you're cheering from the stands, hanging out with friends, or enjoying a night out. Pepsi is there for the love of it. The iconic cola celebrates everything you love, from music and sports to everyday moments. So crack open a cold Pepsi and raise it high, because life's better when you go all in. For the love of it, Pepsi, and we know a big Pepsi fan also is Kalia Butler, our sideline reporter. But Kalia, what do you have for us?
Well, you saw the Firebirds playing with a little bit more energy, especially towards the end of that quarter, being able to get some defensive stops, going on a little bit more of a run. That was largely due to the message that Megan Jones had in their last timeout, in which she said, we have to work harder. You guys are wanting the refs to bail you out. You can't complain. You have to play the game. And at the end of the day, you have to work harder. You can't put limited effort into this game and expect a larger result. Work hard, get the job done, and we will begin to score.
Thank you so much for that, Kalia. And again, that's the importance of what we're able to understand. So the importance of what Kalia is able to hear is Coach Jones, such a motivating coach. You're down by 18 with a technical, with some of your key players in foul trouble. Some coaches may say, all right, let's put in the bench and live to play another game. Not Coach Jones and not the Birds.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that game really could have went one of two ways, and fortunately for the Firebirds, they were able to cut back into it. And once again, the defensive pressure has been what has allowed them to go on this run. So they need to keep the heat up on the defense and keep up that energy and really go for broke here, down 10.
Aram to the left side. Thought about it, pump fake, back to Elsmore. We are underway in quarter number 4. An 18-point deficit as Winters goes up strong, and with Grace Cord in foul trouble, Winters not only is coming, Winters is here.
Exactly there. Nice little pick and roll defense, or pick and roll game there between Elsmore and Winters. And Elsmore did a nice job of just hesitating, and that opened up the lane for Winters to hopefully capitalize 2 more here for the Birds. And it's nice to have someone like Winters. I mean, when Grace Cord hits the bench with those fouls, and I mean, Winters really does a nice job of keeping the team clicking. It's almost like they're, your starters off the floor, but there's not a lot of drop off at all with Winters. And another forced turnover here from the Firebirds.
So Birds now back to within 8. And again, this is, we didn't say it's a redrafting team here for the Birds. It's a retool. It's not a full reset. Coach Jones has had these players like Winters, like Orozco, like Elsmore, waiting off in the wings, practicing game in and game out, day in and day out. So when their opportunity comes, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and that's truly the case. Elsmore just misses. Winters tries to force through, but this time the advantage goes to Trumbach.
And the three-point struggles continue. Just 1 of 17 from behind the arc.
And one. Jenna Hunter. Not the hunted, but coming in like a predator. 14 points, and with this one a chance to be 1 away from her career high.
Yeah, sometimes you get these games from some players here, you're like, how does she only average 4 points a game? I mean, she looks like, a lot of good moves down in the post. She can make free throws, as I jinx her there.
Yeah.
But a great, just her back to the basket. I mean, a tough person to defend, and wonder if she continues this offensive output for the Thunder.
Orozco goes up strong, no foul called. She's talking to the official, Coach Jones, saying get back. Now, is the Culvers only if it's 2 free throws and they miss them both? It's not if they miss 1 free throw at the and 1?
Yeah, you got to get 2 in a row in the second half.
All right, I just wanted to make sure. I'm still bitter I missed the last one, but, that's my problem and not anybody else's. Under 6-5, Hunter dominated all game. Out, open for 3. No good, back rim. Winters with the rebound. No, I think about back to my playing career. Elsmore up strong. Can't get the and 1. That's been the story for the Birds today. Getting to the lane. Can't get the and 1. 8:25 remaining, and Grace Cord coming back in.
Yeah, how about that? Just Elsmore taking up the basketball, and just nobody stops her at all. She says, I'll take this thing all the way to the rim. Thank you very much. Draws the contact, and we see Grace Cord come back in here with 4 fouls. So you wonder, will Wheaton continue to get the ball into Hunter and try to isolate her against Cord to see if they can pick up that 5th foul?
Yeah, and I really like what Coach Jones is doing. This is something we can talk about in the postgame show. With Cord in trouble, you put Winters in, but now you give Winters the breather, treating her as if she, in essence, is the starter, because you need her down the stretch not to be winded. So you put Cord back in now, give me everything you got until you foul out, and then it will be the Winters show the rest of the way. Lead at 9. There's that Cord, and you saw Cord kind of back off of Hunter because you don't want to foul out. And with that, Hunter has now tied her career high 16 points.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no doubt in her mind, playing with full confidence. And Carthage not able to slow her down this afternoon.
Grace Cord, coast-to-coast pass. Aram looks for the screen. Kicks out to Orozco, under 10. The screen again, Orozco going strong through the sea of Navy. Can't find the bucket again. And Orozco 1 for 9 from the field.
Yeah, frustrating, but again, credit to Wheaton's defense coming into this game near the bottom in most of the defensive categories in the CCIW, but they've really caused some shooting trouble for the Firebirds all afternoon.
Hunter turns around, and that's it. Hunter has now a new career high, 18 points for number 32. Green trapped underneath, just floats it out, tried for Aram. Elsmore able to run it down. Coach Jones telling the team to move. Elsmore into Aram. Thought about the touch off to Cord, couldn't get it there. Elsmore cuts back into the paint, floater with the right hand. No good, Orozco the offensive board. Tries to force it into Green. Foul called once again by Trumbach out of Benjamin Franklin High School. And another off-ball foul by Trumbach, as now Elsmore getting a breather. Pekaski comes in, so it is a bigs lineup now for Coach Jones with Pekaski and Cord on the court at the same time.
And that's something that they're going to try to lean into, is that they've had a slight rebounding margin in their favor. 6 offensive rebounds for the game.
Offensive foul called against Malia Green. That was way off ball. I had to wait for the official because I'm like, well, it didn't happen on the first part of the screen, so where was it? Lead was down to 9. Back up to 13. Again, as we mentioned the pregame show, a key to victory is who can get the start and force the hand of the other team to have to come back. Aram looks for Green, keeps it herself, floater right hand, misses off the front of the rim, no good. Layup of their own, poke back, Thunder hold on. Thought about the 2, Oliver back. Now the Wheaton just milking some of the clock. Again, Coach Jones wants to be within 10 with 4 left. Some work to do defensively to get to that point. Miss on the layup. Pekaski loses the handle, has it swiped away, and that's just the wherewithal, but Aram comes away. The pass up, Cord, layup with the right hand and good. Full court press. Poked by Green, almost had a steal. The trap floated up ahead. Hit again by Aram. Poked down. Orozco looks for Green. One more time. Green up with the left hand and good. Coach Jones saying keep the press on. Lead cut to 9. The full court press patented by Coach Jones.
Yeah, you got to dig deep into the Firebirds to see some of them been out there on the floor for quite a while.
Oliver to Orozco. Aram pump fakes for the 3. Resettling the offense. Malia Green for 3. Bang! Carthage in fuego. Back to within 6. Malia Green up to 15 points. What a sequence, Eric.
And to continue, the full court press has just been frustrating Thunder all game long. And finally, you see Malia Green able to knock down a 3, which has been a tough shooting night. But hey, credit to the Firebirds. They've been playing tough, hanging around, and they find themselves just down 6 now here with 5 to go.
What a turn of events. It is a 7-0 run for the Birds in the last 2 minutes. They're 3 for 4 from their last 4 shots and get their second three-pointer of the game. 2 for 18, and no time is better than the present for that present, and an open three-pointer from the lethal Malia Green.
Exactly. Now Malia Green up to 15 points, 7 to 10 from the floor. So a huge night so far from Green, and she's going to have to keep that thing going. But 3 steals, along with Orozco with 4 steals, Aram 3 steals, and Cord 2 steals. So 13 times the Firebirds have taken the ball away from the Thunder, and that has really been their best offense, is that type of defense.
Well, and the bench points set at 2 at halftime. It's up to 9 now. A big part of that is Winters, but I think it bears mentioning the full court press. It's so good by Coach Jones, and the fact that she's able to pull it out of the back pocket now to get back into the game. It's not just the fits that it causes. I mean, look at 2 turnovers, and these are all resulting in points in short order, and adding that 3-pointer onto it, lethal.
Exactly, and you expect Wheaton to adjust a little here. Just they've tried to pass over the top, and it's been players like Aram and Green just jumping up and taking it away from them. And they're a nice job there. And the senior Kate Oliver just takes up the floor, but another turnover.
Chloe Koska, miscommunication. And the Birds, with a 3, could be back into 1 possession.
And after leading, having the most turnovers in the game, now the script has flipped to Wheaton. Now 20 turnovers to Carthage's 17. And that's been the main reason why the Firebirds been back in this game.
Momentum fully back on the Birds' side. Aram for 3, nothing but the bottom of the net. It's a 1-possession game for Carthage. Aram up to 12. The full court press, the bounce pass to nowhere. Jump ball. It just was rolling to no man's land. Luckily enough, a high IQ play by Kaiser just to dive for it to at least force the possession arrow to go in their favor. This full court press, Thunder nowhere to go. Floating up ahead. And a foul called on Aram. So they were going for the over-the-shoulder pass to Oliver. Guess you can say no harm, no foul, but there's a foul, but you're still forcing another inbounds along the near side. Oliver, almost a steal. Thought it would be a jump ball, but ripped away at the last moment. So the slip by Oliver, no call on the travel. Pekaski has it pulled away, almost another steal. Up with the left hand, a much-needed point by Cato. Lead of 5, 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, nice cut there for Cato. It was looking a little helter-skelter for the Thunder, but able to maintain possession and a needed bucket for them.
Foul called as they got it into Cord, and she's slashed on the hand. Third foul on Juan Cato.
And now Wheaton just 1 foul away from putting Carthage into the bonus. So another thing, if you're a Firebirds fans, getting to the line here, another way to come back.
Yeah, and that's something you and I were talking about early on, if not in the third, is, you know, Coach Jones wants this team to win at the free throw line, and being so close to that point now, lead of 5. It is anybody's game at this point. 10-2 run by the Birds. Green! Oh my goodness, another near miss.
Yeah, I really thought that one was going down, and I was just about to say, Carthage doesn't need to. Another unforced turnover. It is somebody on the Thunder really needs to step up and calm this team down, because they've been passing the ball around, and a recipe for disaster for the Thunder, and Carthage needs to capitalize here. Running out of possessions coming down.
Coach Madsen, the most animated he's been. And they're saying that stays in play. Thought it might have touched the line. If I'm the Thunder right now, Eric, I am just holding it until there's about 10 seconds left. At least give your team a chance to settle into some sort of offense. The step back, nothing but the bottom of the net. Cruising back, Kate Oliver.
Yeah, dagger there from Kate Oliver. Not her highest scoring night, but there is a crucial 2 points for her team.
Grace Cord down low, 1v1. That's where she wants it. Forces it up with the right hand off the front iron. It was a one possession game, 56-53, after a 10-2 run by the Birds. Wheaton back up by 7. Another fall away. Orozco thought she came away with that. That's 2 times now in the fourth. In the nearly same spot, the Thunder have lost their footing. Driving in, and a foul going to be called against Malia Green after a few steps by Oliver. But nonetheless, Green called for the foul and a chance to extend the lead to 9.
And you can see why she has been so effective getting to the free throw line. Number 24, Kate Oliver. Some great footwork there, and looked like Green almost able to get the block, but a nice job from Oliver to draw the foul. And again, she's been a steady hand here for the Thunder as things started to slip.
Well, and it goes back to what we said earlier, Eric. You want to have the lead, or at least have it be a slim lead, so you're not giving every ounce of energy you had with just the comeback. You're down 18 at one point, and you thought it might be over. Lead for Wheaton was 3, and now with some misses and some crucial fouls. Orozco, can she answer back? Front iron, no good. Thunder gets the board. And it was that full court press that was so successful. And now that Thunder is settling back in, they have a chance to bring the lead back to double digits.
It really feels a lot like the men's game we just were on the call for, where Carthage men's team, it took them like an entire game just to get it to 3, but it was just too little too late. But here the Firebirds hopefully trying to reverse that type of script and maybe complete the comeback.
Green for 3, bang! That's what it takes. 3-pointers from Malia Green, 18 points on the evening, the leading scorer now for the Birds.
Yeah, how about that? A big 3 again to keep them in, and she's come up big here in the fourth quarter. And yeah, just again, they just dug themselves into such a hole that, yeah, when you go on these big runs and you look up, you're still down 3. It can be frustrating, but, you know, they continue to fight, continue to turn up the pressure on defense, and that is what has kept them in this game. And if you're the Thunder, I see no reason why to not put the ball in number 24, Kate Oliver's hands, who has been just the senior leader here. When the Thunder were scrambling a little bit on offense, she's been the one to take care of the ball and also has had some key points here down the stretch.
Green scored 24 against Franciscan just a few weeks ago, her high. Pekaski comes back in. This is that prime defensive lineup. Just floats it to Oliver over the middle, and luckily enough for the Thunder, they get it to the one player that can handle this onslaught from the press.
It looks like they're going to play this possession out before they foul, but fortunate for the Firebirds, they get an offensive foul, so you can tell Carthage were not looking to foul there to put him on the line quite yet, and with 15 seconds in the shot clock, Wheaton commit a offensive foul, exactly what the Firebirds needed.
Chloe Koska just plowed over Nora Aram. Aram gets it to Green, off court, best friends. Elsmore, can she finally find one? And she does. Lead back to 3 with 60 seconds to go in the game.
And what a big shot there. Carthage does not have to foul, play strong defensively, get a stop, and you got a chance.
Can never count the Birds out, especially at Tarble. Under 10. In the hands of Hunter. They get it to Oliver behind the back. The huge step back. Off the rim, no good. Cord with the rebound. Was Cord fouled? Coach Jones calling for a timeout. 24.8 to go. A 3 can tie it. Are you not entertained?
Man, again, it felt like with that, we had a technical foul. The team had a technical foul there. It was lead stretching to 18. Next thing you know, Carthage continues with that pressure, possession after possession, and finally some threes able to fall for the team as now they're up to 5 for 23 after being held just with 1 3-pointer most of this game, and 4 late threes here has made it interesting.
Stick around for the post-game show. Coach Jones will join us in the booth. And you want to talk about a tale of 2 different emotions. If they can find a way to tie this or come back with a victory, my goodness, smiles galore. Also the opportunity for it to be a oh-so-close yet again story in the post-game. And again, you don't necessarily find those moral victories, but a retooled team continuing in conference play being just that close.
Yeah, exactly, and you're right, Peter. I'd love to see one of these Carthage teams who continue to show so much fight and battle that can they get over that mountain, being down double digits most of the game. And as we said, Carthage only had the lead for this game for 25 seconds. So, I mean, to be down so long and right here with a possession to tie it, you gotta love your chances here for the Firebirds.
The lineup: Elsmore, Green, Aram, Orozco, and Cord. Wheaton letting him bring it up court. Green, the player to watch, one of the best 3-point shooters in all the CCIW. Sets the screen. Aram looked for, almost a travel off to Elsmore. 15 remaining in the game. Elsmore, the fadeaway, no good. Follows up her own shot. Goes up, and she's fouled. Now, chance for 2. You'll still be trailing by 1. So you're going to have to foul and foul quickly and hope they miss 1 of 2, or if they miss both. There's a lot of what-if situations, but it starts with making both of these.
And obviously both of these crucial, but the second one particularly, because if Elsmore makes it, they can set up that full court trap that has been so tough for Wheaton. So this one, again, you obviously wanted both of them, but this one here, crucial to set up the defense.
The second for Elsmore, makes the second. Pekaski coming back in for that full court trap. It's tough because you were a 3-point away from tying. You settle for the 2. You do not know if coach said, hey, take whatever shot is there and we'll worry about it, instead of just going for the tie. Don't know the whole story there. But nonetheless, 62-60. Birds trail by 2. Wheaton now has possession, so Birds had a chance to tie it. They make 1 of 2 free throws. They will, of course, immediately try for the steal. If not, foul. They'll need some fouls to get into the 1-and-1. Once they get to that point, you got to hope for a miss and hope for the best. Carthage out of timeouts, though, Eric. So once they get the ball back, they got to go, and they got to go fast.
Yeah, and it's going to be a situation that, Coach Jones has talked about in that huddle is that, hey, if we do get this ball back, do not call timeout. We need to get to the other end and get a shot up and hopefully tie this game or win it. And if you're Wheaton, again, you want to get the ball to Kate Oliver, one of your best free throw shooters.
The bounce pass to Oliver immediately took 2 seconds off the clock. Pekaski and Oliver going to the line for the free throw. Elsmore coming back in for Pekaski for the quick offense. Because again, now the circumstance is you are hoping that Kate Oliver, who's shooting over 700 from the free throw line, can make them both. If she makes them both, tough sledding, she makes 1 of 2. 3 can still tie it with 6 seconds. If not, you got to get down court and make one fast. The shot up. It's a miss. Cord gets it to Orozco with 3, with 2. The pull-up misses off the front of the rim, and with a chance to tie. That's exactly what the Birds wanted. Just couldn't get down court in time to come away with the game-tying 3, and another close loss for the Firebirds, but give credit where it's due. Wheaton, besides the first 90-plus seconds of the game, Eric, a buzzer-to-buzzer lead, weathered multiple storms late in the third and fourth by Carthage, 2 times down by, only up by 3, but held firm, and give credit to the Thunder.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially when the Thunder really saw that game starting to slip, and sometimes when you're leading the whole game and the other team starts mounting that comeback, you get a little tight. But I mean, credit to the Thunder, as Hunter really did a huge job for the Wheaton team. I mean, coming up with 18 points to go along with Kate Oliver. So those 2 players really in the second half is what kept the Thunder from sinking all the way.
We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, the post-game show, Coach Jones will join us up here in the Perch to talk about a close loss against the visiting Thunder of Wheaton, and then we will be back after that with the pregame show, part of the Firebird Broadcasting Network, now in the CCIW Network, the men's game in just about 30 minutes. But first, a quick timeout. Thank you to our sponsors. Come back, Coach Jones on the CCIW Network. Join on the post-game show for Eric Elger. I'm Peter Ferreri and Kalia Butler. Alongside now is head coach Megan Jones. Coach, the resiliency of your team, I can't express enough. You're down double digits much of the second half. Find the way to come back multiple times, then at the very end have a chance to tie. Talk us through the resiliency of your squad right now.
Yeah, I mean, I said I was happy with the fight, that we didn't give up, but the same struggles we've been having every game that we've lost, we just don't put 40 minutes together. And I told them that in the huddle, and that was what we were focused on today. So to not do that is really disappointing, because I feel like everything that we're struggling with, we can control. And we have to be able to have a better mindset to come into every game that we have to put 40 minutes together in order to win. I mean, we have a tough schedule in general. Now, obviously, we go to some non-conference games that don't get any easier. And so this is a tough one to swallow because I think we did it to ourselves a little bit.
It seems like for most of the game, just that three-point shot really difficult. Only one three-pointer going into the fourth quarter. It seemed like when you attacked and dribbled and went at the rim was when your offense really opened up. Was that a focus in the second half?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a focus the whole game. And I think when we do what we're supposed to do, good things can happen. And, I mean, sometimes shots don't fall, and that's okay, but we talked to them about getting to the offensive glass, and we struggled there too. I mean, we only had 1 second chance point, which was Delaney's free throw there at the end. And so we have to put a better game together, a full game, in order to win. I can't say that enough. I said to him, you know, I am happy with the fight, and we can show that we can score quickly. We didn't give up, but 7 missed free throws, 18 turnovers, those things hurt us a lot.
Yeah, and then you're losing the turnover battle most of the game, but then it was when that defense and that full court pressure turned up that you were able to win the turnover battle in the end. I mean, what did you like from that pressure you caused in the second half?
Yeah, I think same point that I've been making, we just got to do it more consistently. Because once we were doing that, once we were pressuring the ball, that's when shots started to fall, is that energy has to come from the defensive side. When we're pressuring the ball, making them uncomfortable, good things can happen for us on offense too. It doesn't come from just settling into the half court, and that's what Wheaton wants you to do a little bit. They want to slow down the pace of the game. We said that to them before, and I don't think we got enough transition points. But we saw good things, but that's what we've seen a lot is like moments of good things. It's about how do we put 40 minutes of good things together.
One player that came in clutch is when Grace Cord got into foul trouble. You called the number of one Mallory Winters. Say a bit about what she was able to do. It's really a catalyst of that comeback effort at the end.
Yeah, there was, just energy, being able to settle in. I think anybody, was ready to go, to step up. We subbed in Lisa there in the third quarter, too. I think she gave us some good minutes there I said at the end of the third quarter, let's get it back to 10, and they did right at that. We got it to 10. We scored those 5 points. And so people coming off the bench, I think, did a really good job. We just have to lock it in for 40 minutes. And I said to him the other day, I know it feels like I'm saying the same thing over and over, and I am. And I know that's probably frustrating from their perspective. But we try to really focus on the things that we can control, not the things that we can't. And so that's what we're focused on heading into this one more non-conference game before they have a little bit of a break.
Yeah, talk us through what's the next few days going to look like before Norbert comes to town Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll practice tomorrow, keep it a little lighter, just day after a game, but more like scout focus. We can kind of talk through what St. Norbert is doing, but they're a really talented team, and that's going to be another really tough game, and we have to take care of the ones at home. Okay.
Coach, get some rest and look forward to seeing you on Tuesday night.
Thank you.
Again, that was head coach Megan Jones, and again, you can feel it, Eric, that she knows this team is on the precipice of a much different record, and I think it shows in the resiliency of they just didn't, fold this evening or this afternoon and give it away to the Thunder. They knew what they had, and once it started to click, the talent level that they have.
I mean, all things considered, as you mentioned, is some of the mistakes on offense and even without that defense ramping up. I mean, you're down to one possession game in the end, and obviously you'd like to be on the positive end of that one possession game, but even for Carthage to fight back, and Coach Jones, I think you said they see a lot of good things, just can they sustain it for 40 minutes? And
yep,
we look forward to seeing the adjustment come St. Norbert.
Exactly. So we're going to take a quick timeout, be back in just about 15 minutes for the pregame show for the men's game. For executive producer Mike Love, producer John Voinovich, graphics and directing today is Yam Cameron, and Ryder on camera. Thank you so very much for great work. As always, this program has been a presentation of Carthage Firebird College Productions 2025. Once again, for Kalia Butler, Eric Elger, I'm Peter Ferreri. We'll be back in a flash on the Firebird and CCIW Network.